Over a 15-year club career, he racked up 632 total appearances. He captained Liverpool. He hoisted the European Cup twice. By any metric, Emlyn Hughes was a titan of English football. Yet his international record holds a bizarre statistical anomaly. Hughes earned 62 caps for England across 3 separate decades, making him the most capped player in the nation's history to never play a single minute in a major tournament final. This gap between his club dominance and his international luck is striking. It forces us to look closer at how a player so consistently sidelined on the world stage became the foundational bedrock of England's greatest club dynasty. In the late 1960s, English football was an unforgiving, heavy-tackling arena. Liverpool Football Club was an aging giant, steadily losing ground and starved of major honors. Following a devastating FA Cup defeat to a second-division side in 1970, manager Bill Shankly made a ruthless choice. He cleared out the established senior players who had brought him league titles over the previous 8 years. One of the survivors of this mass purge was a 23-year-old from Barrow in Furness. Hughes was unrefined, playing with a frantic, chaotic aggression that often bordered on total recklessness. During a match against Newcastle United, that aggression boiled over into an illegal rugby tackle on opposing winger Albert Bennett. The Anfield faithful immediately dubbed him Crazy Horse, and the name stuck. Shankly had discarded his veterans, leaving the club's immediate prospects in the hands of a few unproven youngsters, led by a man who, to most observers, appeared entirely out of control. That energy wasn't just mindless chaos. Hughes's speed allowed Liverpool to compress the pitch, forcing a faster style of play that aging squads couldn't track. He possessed immense positional flexibility. Hughes could be deployed to lock down the midfield, patrol the left flank, or anchor central defense. His signature move was the surge. Gathering the ball deep, he'd charge straight up the pitch, shattering defensive lines through sheer momentum. This constant pressure broke teams across the continent. Hughes led Liverpool to 4 league titles, 2 UEFA Cups, and hoisted the European Cup twice. He was the physical engine driving Liverpool's dominance of 1970s European football. Off the pitch, Hughes was a paradox. He carried an infectious smile, but behind locker room doors, he was capable of maintaining deep, uncompromising resentments. In 1972, Hughes allegedly told teammate Tommy Smith that Arsenal players were willing to throw an upcoming match for £50 a man. Smith was completely disgusted. From that day on, the two men never spoke off the field. Yet, they shared the same defensive line for years. For 90 minutes every week, they shelved a bitter hatred to execute a synchronized defensive wall. Eventually, the physical toll of his charging playstyle caught up to him. A new generation of defenders, led by a young Alan Hansen, arrived at Anfield and pushed Hughes out of the starting lineup. Sold to Wolverhampton Wanderers in 1979 and later moving to Rotherham, his physical pace slowed. By the end, his high-pitched voice and constant referee berating were the prominent parts of his game. His legs were fading, but that exact same booming, competitive personality was laying the groundwork for an unprecedented second act. For most players in the 1970s, retirement meant a quiet return to working-class obscurity. Hughes broke that cycle. He parlayed his competitive nature into a broadcasting career, becoming a fixture on the BBC as a team captain for the quiz show A Question of Sport. During one broadcast, Princess Anne appeared as a guest on his team. Hughes threw his arm around the Princess Royal and called her mate on national television. The public loved it. The unpretentious energy that allowed him to tackle wingers into the mud had charmed British pop culture. As his media career matured, he transitioned from a light-hearted entertainer to a voice of national comfort during the sport's darkest hours. Hughes was present as a broadcaster during the stadium disasters at both Heysel and Hillsborough. Amid the chaos, he offered comfort to grieving parents and served as a compassionate voice for a traumatized sport. When Hughes died of a brain tumor in 2004 at the age of 57, the grief was felt across the country. Today, bronze statues of him stand in his hometown of Barrow-in-Furness and outside Anfield. Hughes ended his career as a rare figure in British life, a man who could captain a European champion on a Tuesday and become a recognizable, empathetic fixture of the national living room by Friday.